What's up, everybody? Welcome. My name is Tucker Bearden, and I am your host. Welcome to the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast, where we interview the men and women building this country one business at a time. Everybody has a message. Every message has a purpose. Well, here, that message gets heard. So today we're gonna be talking with an amazing guy that we got coming in. I don't even want to spoil it for you. I don't even want to ruin it for you. But I want him to tell you all about him. I'm not even gonna read his bio. This guy is making strides in his industry. He's truly impacting lives around the world, and I'm gonna give him the opportunity to tell y'all all about it. So. Right, we're getting in here. Hey, Mary, I appreciate you joining me in. Eula, how you doing? I hope all is well. I appreciate everybody for watching us today. Good morning. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning out here in the ARK. Man, I went outside this morning. The birds were singing. Even saw me a fat little squirrel chewing on a nut. It was funny. Anyway, y'all, look. Like I said, this is the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast. What we do here is we interview people who are building businesses, who have a hustle, but on top of everything, they keep it humble. And what do I mean whenever I say that? I say keep it humble because there are many people out there that are in business, but hey, okay, we got him. Let's see. All right. All right, Keith, I see that Keith is in here. But what I say when I say keep it humble, keeping it humble is being in business but being true. You know, it's being able to provide value to people without getting over on anybody. It's doing it right. But I'm gonna bring in our guest now, Mr. Keith Neuman. All right, here he comes. Hey, Josh, how you doing? I appreciate you joining me this morning. Hey, Josh is somebody else I'm going to have on the show. So is Mary Sturz. As soon as we get a chance. Hey, Keith, my man, what's up? You're silent.
What's going on? What's up, Tucker? How you doing?
How you doing, bud?
Oh, man. I'm doing excellent, man. Just super excited to be here. Beautiful day out, man. Got up bright and early, so I'm just ready to do this, man. Let's do it.
That's awesome, bro. Hey, first of all, let's start this off so everybody knows who Mr. Keith Neuman is. So, who are you and what is your why? What are you all about?
Oh, man, right now, I think for me, what I'm all about is, figuring out how I can be the best me and how that translates into how I can serve the world and, make an impact that way. Figuring out what my why, for me, I have a bunch of stuff, bunch of cute stuff on the wall, posted everywhere, but, I always think that, that's something that's always ever changing. And for me, I'm still learning what that looks like specifically. My why, right now, I think it's definitely just to learn about myself and fill my cup up just to the point where I can just, serve and help lead the world in just as many ways as I can. You know what I mean? I know we're both, I believe you're 24,
25.
Tucker, right? Is that true? 25.
Actually, that's going to be a compliment.
Sorry, no person. Yeah, man, no, that's good. The hustle's young still. The fire is, it's still building. But yeah, man, I'm 23 years young, and I think that's having a clear vision. Not everyone always is blessed with that at such a young age. So me, I thought I figured it out, but I was being pulled in different directions, and now I'm just excited to re-energize and just find what I'm truly trying to make an impact in the world.
That's awesome,
right
brother.
now it's through social media, making an impact that
way.
Hey,
we're going to get into that here shortly. I wanted to say hi to a few people. Robert Broker, I appreciate you joining me. We got Rich NJ. Y'all, we're going to have Rich and someone else is going to be on the show. Robert's going to be on here eventually. Man, all of the people watching are going to be guests on the show at some point. I appreciate all y'all coming. Josh Colella, man, y'all, hey, we gonna talk about all that later. That man's got a
Yeah.
that man got a pressure washing company. It's pretty great. But anyway, I want to
Yeah,
ask you,
but
bud, where
thank you everyone for
or
joining.
do what?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Tucker. I'm ready for your question.
Okay, hey. So where are you from, bud? Like, what is your background? What's your come up?
Okay. So, like I mentioned, 23 years young, up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Um, you know, I, I don't want to go too long about this, but just a simple kid. Grew up, suburbs, typical, you know, had a lot of influences from, my mom and pops, but I consider myself self-made, been thinking for myself and operating for myself since a young age. I like to think that my entrepreneurial journey started when I was really young. I remember, the typical selling lemonade, but then the not so typical moving up. I remember selling skateboard parts and, having a little shop in my garage,
That's
doing all
cool.
this cool stuff. And, yeah, so I, got older. I tried out a lot of different things, financial advisor, insurance sales, a lot of different things, but that led me to experimenting on things where I can own my own destiny, right? Work for myself, be a true entrepreneur, right? So, that led me into social media marketing. Obviously that's something that's just blowing up right now, something that's just got huge opportunity. I know there's a lot of people in the space, but the market's even bigger, right? So
Dominate your
it's a big
space, brother.
thing we're ready to capitalize on.
Hey, you a fan of
Boom.
Uncle G?
I love Uncle
What?
G, man. I'm
That's what
telling
I'm
you,
talking
I've
about,
got,
man.
I've got,
Domination. You got to dominate your
yeah,
space. Hey, I gotta hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up actually
yeah.
afterwards about this because that's something that I need to learn a lot more about. Is working on the internet, social networking, and just learning to make money online. That's why I started this podcast. That's my main reason for starting this podcast was so that people that want to become hustlers, people that don't know how to get their hustle on, can learn and get ideas in different industries so that somewhere along the lines they view one of these broadcasts and it gives them idea to start their own business and to get out there and
Hmm.
have just a little bit of information on maybe a path to take. Because me personally, as much as I've done and as much as I'm doing, I always want to learn more. I want to learn about
Mm.
other people's hustles so that hey, I might step into that industry, and I'm stepping into the social networking and things of that online. So I'm
Hmm.
wanting to learn as much as I can about that. So you covered a little bit about it whenever you said that. You said that you're working in the social media space, but if you had to specifically define what your hustle is, so what is your hustle?
Oh man, it's got to be down to, the strategy, man. That's where I really get down because, I love what you were mentioning as well with, the opportunity right now because online you can do, what it is that you're most passionate about, right? You can focus like, me, I love Knicks. I could launch a Knicks blog, Knicks website. I'm not, I don't have a good enough opinion. That's why I don't do that. I'm a fan. I admit it. I'm a fan. I'm not an analyst, but a lot of people these days, if you're passionate about, soccer, World Cup, you're passionate about furniture making, cabinet making, if you're, if you're passionate about botanicals, plants, you can do anything. You can just help people in any way, right? So for me, I've always been, somebody who's kind of, I look from above in a sense, right? So, I'm all about the strategy. If I had to, name my hustle, it would be, social media strategy, right?
Social media skills.
Helping people put in systems. Systems. I love systems, creating things that, people can take and move on with and build on top of, just giving them a foundation and then they can just, hit the ground running from there and just go tackle the world. That's what I think my hustle is, man, right now. that's my focus.
That's awesome, man. Hey, but one of the most important questions is, and this is what this is all about. If somebody wanted to step into your industry, do you have a coaching package? Do you teach anything about that? How could someone step into this industry?
In what sense?
As
Like
in,
step into my shoes or step into somebody who I would be servicing?
okay, let's rephrase the question. Say I was somebody who didn't know anything about this industry, but I saw this podcast and I heard about it, and I want to get into doing what you do. What would be what steps maybe would you suggest to somebody?
uh, well, I wouldn't suggest the ones I took because the ones I took, you know, revolved around me falling on my face more times than I can count, right? But, I think a little bit of failure is necessary. It's almost required. Um, I didn't take a typical route. I didn't go to school for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't work at some big, Fortune 500 company or anything like that. My first digital marketing agency was my own that I ran myself. My first experience online for marketing was an e-commerce store that I started myself, right? So I think that it all comes down to ingesting knowledge in any place, in any shape or form that you can find it, reading the books, watching the podcasts, ingesting a lot of information, but then knowing when it's time to stop taking in new content and when to start taking action on top of the knowledge you built, right? There's that gather information phase where you need to
Mm-hmm.
get different sources that you can build on top, get new ideas that you can flow through your brain, and then you can take those so that you can view situations differently, better than you did before. And then you can just problem solve. You can critically think. You can, have access to different wealths of knowledge. And okay, when a certain problem pops up, you can, pick and choose. Okay, I need to focus my information gathering in this place. Maybe it's chatbots. Okay, I need to learn more about this. Research that a bit, and then implement that into the strategy you already got going on, right? So definitely, take the time. Don't be prejudiced with where you get your knowledge from. I think that's huge. All of us have egos, and we think that only the big people with
Yeah.
20 million followers have the good information. But you can find it everywhere, right? People have good information right here. Tucker, shout out Tucker, man. You guys want to get the keys, man? Just watch every single one of Tucker's videos. He's got times all the way back in time.
How do you
Trust
do
me.
this?
That's
There we
keys,
go.
major keys.
This guy right here. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I finally figured out how to get
Oh
that
yeah.
down. I've been trying to figure out for a week how to do this accurately on while on live and be able to point to my guests. And actually, because when I first started doing that, I was like, mm, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Tucker.
It ain't
Yeah.
easy to do. But man, so basically, what you're saying is you chop it down to sections, and you say, okay, this is what it's required to do what I need to do. And instead of ingesting all of it at once, you say, okay, I want to master this little bit of knowledge before stepping on to the next bit. Is that what I'm catching on with?
Yeah, exactly. You got to compartmentalize it, right? You got to build one thing at a time, right? For example, when I first got into the space, I wasn't reading high level books. I was reading fundamental books, stuff that I could build on top of, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, then you can specialize, right? We're not all going to be experts in every branch, right? For example, right now, there's AR and VR, right? Augmented reality, virtual reality, there's a lot that goes into marketing, and there's so many different avenues. You couldn't be an expert in all of them, right? So it's like, okay, what are my fundamental needs right now? You build the foundation, right? Your basic understanding, and then you go in different directions based on, I don't do it, if I think I need it. I do it when I need to do it, right? So when I'm faced with problems, I'm going to go out and research that specific thing, right? So when you're trying to build, if somebody wanted to do what I do right now and they were trying to do the steps of learning that process, it would definitely be um, similar to a tree, right? Growing the fundamental trunk and branching from there, right? So definitely just a build up, compartmentalize, don't put too much stress on yourself, um, and just move forward, right? Fail forward. That's one of my favorite expressions, right? Just fail forward. Not everything's going to work out. Sometimes you're going to get some bumps and bruises, but if you get right back up, I love what Uncle G says. Imagine waking up every morning with, full bank, and you can go all in. You can lose all your money, and tomorrow you wake up again with, everything right back, because that's your energy, right? You never run out of
Yeah.
energy. You can never lose your energy. You can go all in with your energy today, have it not work out, and you can still go all in tomorrow, right? So, boom, just go all in. 10x,
Hey,
baby.
yeah, 10x, 20x, 100x, but 10x is more doable. But hey, yeah, that's what they say is that everybody is self-made, but only the successful will admit it. So, hey, look, we
Yeah,
got we got
totally.
Mary and Rich and everybody in the comments that dropping comments that Mary said that this is a great interview, that she's sharing the value. If y'all don't mind, hey, anybody, look, I always say, be the blessing for others, and you'll live within blessings. If you are finding value in this interview, if you're enjoying Mr. Keith Neuman up here chatting about what he does and how he stays humble and hustles hard as a Ooh, almost said it. Anyway, share it out. Share it with your friends. Let me see some hearts popping up in there. I want to see y'all active in here, man. I want to see y'all doing something. I want to see that y'all are getting the value out of this. But we're going to roll into our next question with Mr. Keith. All right, bud. So we know what your hustle is, and we know that you've told us how it is that we can get into that industry and what the best way to go about learning is, and that is that step by step, little bitty chunk process. Tell me,
Mhm.
in your own words, what does it really mean to stay humble?
uh,
Even harder question coming up next.
I, because I've been refining this over time and figuring out, what being humble means to me. I think what it really means is, knowing all that it is, that is your reality, and still being able to do the small things. You know what I mean? And still be able to appreciate the small things. Um, because we all live pretty hectic lives. It's the 21st century. We have so much going on, flashing lights everywhere, distracting you, big ambitions, big thought, big stuff that's going on in all of our lives, whether we like to admit it or not. Just 100 years ago, stuff we're doing now would be considered insane, right? And
Yeah.
this is our typical day to day. So, how do you still appreciate things that are happening around you that are just natural processes? Like, can you enjoy, you know, the weather? Can you enjoy, walking in the sand? Can you enjoy, you know, a dog passing by? Can you enjoy just like small things still? Like, can you let them pass you by? Can you be so up in your head that this reality has disassociated you from your true connection to the world and to the world's energy? You know what I mean? You have to be appreciative. Me, I try and be appreciative all the time. And I'm still working on being humble. I think that humble is also a worldview, right? It's a filter that you view everything through, right? So how do you view just somebody walking down the street? Can you give them a smile?
Yep.
Can you just smile for no reason everywhere you go? Can you wash the dishes and not be frustrated? I love, all the stuff Nelson Mandela talked about. Um, Especially, I think today's his birthday, right?
Yes,
I think
actually.
that
I'm
it was either
surprised
today
that
or
someone
yesterday.
else knew that. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's big. Nelson Mandela's awesome. It's appreciating the small things. Can you sweep and clean your house with the same passion that you do your important stuff with, right?
Mhm.
Can you do that? Can you be focused and concentrated and be appreciative, right? Like when you cook your food, when you eat your food, do you just rush through it, or do you appreciate it? I just want to mention Kevin,
Finally.
thank you for joining.
So,
Mary, thank you for get the shout out. Josh, thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate it.
hey man, look, hey, I ain't even gotta thank everybody. We got him, man. He's knocking it out for us, Kevin. I really appreciate you. But dude, what you just said resonates with me. That is so powerful because that's something that I have been trying to get across to people for a while. I used to say, "Do you eat an apple? Are you really eating your apple?" Was this phrase? And they say, "Well, what do you mean?" Well, when you're eating your apple or whatever it is you're eating, are you truly experiencing that moment? Are you eating the apple, or are you thinking about bills as you're taking a bite and thinking about, what do I need to do as you're chewing your food? Or are you truly are you having an unalloyed experience, a genuine experience, when you are doing something? And you said earlier, you said appreciate life, appreciate the little things, and that's so key because boredom in itself is no more than a lack of appreciation for life in itself. So if you say, "Well, I'm bored,"
Totally.
well, the only way for you to be bored is is for you to look around and see nothing going on. But there's always something
To
going
be
on. There's no such
disassociated,
thing as an
completely
ordinary moment.
disassociated.
And Mary said, "Are you
Hmm.
present in the moment?" And that is the main
Totally.
question right there. The time is now. You
I,
are here, and you truly are this moment. Ah, man, like I said, I really
and that's
appreciate you bringing
no.
that up. That really does resonate with me. But hey, I have a
I
question for
totally
you.
want to touch
Go
on.
ahead. What?
Okay, you know what? Oh, I was gonna just mention, that's the difference between joy and happiness,
Yes.
right? Because joy is in the moment right now. You can't feel joy later or behind you, right? You can be happiness is a state, right? You can be like, oh, I'm happy in general. In general, you're a happy person, right? But joy, finding a way to be joyful in the moment, even when the situation isn't looking your way, being present in the moment, that's where life is, right? That's where true abundant life comes from, is living in the moment right now. And I'm so happy right now to have you all with us. If you're watching this after it's already gone live, give us a hashtag replay. Let us know you joined in. We will definitely appreciate it.
So, what do you have? Any tips that you've got for people? For I mean, people are always looking for happiness. They're always looking for joy. But the real question is how. So, do you have any tips for our viewers on how they can switch from just happiness to truly experiencing joy and actually living in the moment? Because it's easy for us to say live in the moment, but it's not so easy for us to truly do that. So, what tips do you have for everybody for truly living in the moment and experiencing joy?
Well, one of the things, you know, I want to touch on a few different capacities on how, right? There's the things you can do beforehand. Like for me, meditation has been key. Uh, taking time out of my day to meditate allows me during the rest of the day to be more focused on the present. Um, Another thing is being aware of my breath. How am I breathing? How am I, feeding my body its energy, right? How am I in control? Am I keeping my heart rate low? Is my focus where it needs to be? But in terms of, and another thing, actually, just touch on that is um, being aware of your thoughts all the time, right? So not necessarily like this will help you in general in the future, but I mean today to help you feel, more in the moment and to appreciate it. I think it's just being aware of your senses, right? Being in tune with your body. Um, One thing that helped me was, after I started working out a lot more and being in more tune with my body that way, you know, you kind of feel things more, right? You're smelling things more, touching things more, you can feel more things, right? And just be aware of it. You don't want to be tuned out from your reality, right? I'm a big, you know, advocate of how, our bodies are almost a representation, right? In this reality. So, this is how you take in everything. you have to be aware of it. How does it impact you? How do you take it in, right? And because sometimes you're dull to it, right? Because I mean, we're in a world where we're always being, we're in a barrage of different feelings and emotions, and our senses are always going off, right? So that's why I think meditation is so key, because you get to realign, calm everything down, and then reapproach everything and really ingest it and appreciate it for what it is.
That's that. Hey man, I couldn't have said it better myself. Meditation truly it is key, and it's something that in today's time people are not doing most of the time. I mean, meditation is something that some people hear and then they laugh about it. They're like, oh man, what am I going to sit around going om? Well, I mean that's one way to do it, but
Powerful.
I know personally I
Is
used to
powerful,
meditate
man.
every day, and when someone practices meditation, they actually open up the synapses in their brain to fire more effectively. It opens your mind up, your ability to perceive, your ability to ingest knowledge, your ability to understand and remember things. It goes to a whole nother level. So I have a question for you that some people have trouble answering, but it's probably the most important question I've ever asked anyone, and that's because the answers that I get are truly mind blowing. Some they're life changing, and I know that your answer for the question is going to blow everybody away. So here it is: if you had 5 minutes to live, and everyone in the world could hear you speak, what would be your message to the world?
It's funny because I've already answered this once, because I remember we did the challenge in the same group, same capacity, right?
Yeah,
So it's funny. My answer is going to be a little bit different, just because I actually I interviewed like 20 people and asked them this question,
really.
but yeah,
Oh
yeah, it's
yeah,
good
in
good
the,
video.
I remember that. Okay, you've got
Yeah,
experience with this. I don't know why that even slipped my mind.
yeah,
So it's gonna be even better. You know what it's like asking people this question. Some people are like, whoa,
yeah.
whoa, I don't know, I ain't got
Well,
nothing
I
to say.
well, I remember your video, the one where you interviewed the people, and there are some really good questions. The gentleman who answered you outside the shop,
Yeah,
right? The guy with his shirt off,
yes,
he went off on you. I was like, oh, this guy's got a crazy answer.
yeah.
That was good. So yeah, my answer, my point of view on it is, it's really comes down to kind of a lot of things I already mentioned, which is kind of funny because I didn't mean for that to happen, but um, just a lot of stuff that revolve around being present, right? Um, Enjoying the moment, being there, right? Like, how disassociated are some people that they can't enjoy something like a birthday party where there's a newborn baby, right? And you ignore it, right? You're not embraced right now in that moment. Can you enjoy like the dog licking your hands when you walk by, or do you just keep talking on the phone and just ignore it, right? Are you there truly, at your dinner table? Are you immersed in the conversation and enjoying your food, or are you on your phone texting somebody, you know what I mean? Trying to connect with somebody else when there's people all around you who are right in front of you, right? So I think it comes down to, and in addition to that, is not allowing, outside threats to kind of mess with your vibe, your internal energy, right? So, because we have abundance, we are surrounded by abundance, right? People just don't see it. They don't open themselves to it, right? So with being in the moment, having abundant joy and just not stressing about anything. There's no reason to stress, right? Um, I saw a video the other day where he was talking. I believe it was a monk. He's talking about how you know if you're worrying about something, you ask yourself a question: Can you solve it? Yes. Then why worry? You know what I mean? You have a worry. Can you solve it? No. Then why worry? Right? And that's it's perfect. It's perfect, right? Because why would you worry? Why would you worry? Either you can fix it or you can't, and either way, there's the solution right there in front of you. You know what I mean? I kind of believe that, if it's not going to affect you 5 minutes from now, don't spend more than 5 seconds thinking about it, right? And you can change that interval, but I like to keep it short. 5 minutes, man. If it doesn't impact me 5 minutes from now, you're not going to see me complaining about it or doing anything about it. I'm just going to be like, okay, move on, right? Just keep moving, being in the moment, but also, being joyful.
So, hey, did by any chance was that Sadhguru? By any chance?
Probably.
There's
I think
a
so. I
guy
know he's
on
big on
YouTube. It's
Instagram
a
and YouTube
mystic
and
from
stuff.
India. He's one of my
Yeah.
mentors. I consider him a mentor. I've connected with him, and he truly is amazing. You should check him out. He
Mhm.
probably is who you're talking about. Because he's always
Got the
dropping
face paint?
those bombs. Yes,
Yeah.
you, when you did
Yeah.
that, you meant
It's
Indian,
hard
right?
to not recognize him. Oh yeah, oh man. I just love I love a lot of the teachings, Eastern Asia, all that stuff I vibe with.
Because they have culture. They have a true culture, and when people from like say America, we're young, okay. This country hasn't been around that long in the great scheme of things. Them folks over there, they've been there for a long, long, long time, long time.
Yeah. And they're building on top of what they've already
Yes,
established, right? It's building blocks, right? And they've built themselves up very high.
yes, because they
You know what I mean?
can't
And the
build
thing
wide.
is
They're
a
running
lot of
out of
these
room, so they gotta go up.
exactly. And one of the big things is, when you really dissect a lot of the kind of ideas and themes in kind of ancient societies, they all gravitate towards simplicity, right? And I think simplicity is really another thing that comes down to presence, right? It's keeping things simple. Um, I love how the messaging in all ancient societies almost always come back to each other, right? Because when they've been around so long, the simple things are established, right? And it's our modern society right now that's actually deviating from our nature, our human nature, right? Our animalistic nature. Like we're all one on this world, right? To the animals, to the plants, and we can't, if we want to stay true to ourselves, we can't deviate from that. We need to stay on our path, right? That's what I truly believe.
That's beautiful, brother. Well, look, man, I really appreciate you for joining us on the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast. I know you've got your Facebook page. Do you have a YouTube?
I
Okay,
do. I do. I
awesome.
believe it's Keith Newman YYC.
Okay, awesome. Hey,
I'm
look, if you
the only reason I don't know is because I'm pretty sure I'm hoping I changed it, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure that's it. I got a website though, keithnewman.com. You guys can check that
hey,
out.
y'all better
Definitely hit
go
me
hit
up
it
on
up.
Facebook.
Hit.
Got the Facebook, got the personal page as well. Working on I got a Facebook group so going to be launching real soon, so stay tuned for that. Hit me up in the DM. I'm always open to chat. Help you guys out in any way I can. Love to collaborate.
Hey, but like I said, man, it truly is a blessing. You know what I always say? Be the blessing for others, and you will live within blessings. Well, you've been the blessing for us by coming here today and sharing your powerful knowledge. If you could do me a favor, as soon as we get off here, drop your contact information to your YouTube, all the links to your Facebook, this, that, and another in the comments, so everybody can connect with you. And I hope that you have a blessed day. I'm gonna go out. Man, you blessed me today. I tell you, I'm gonna be enjoying the little things more today than I was yesterday, and I'm somebody that practices that. So. So you have a blessed day, brother, and thank you for joining us on the Stay Humble, Hustle Hard podcast.
Oh man, thank you for having me. I'm so appreciative, so blessed to be here. With that, I know Tucky, we're gonna go kill the rest of the day, but you know what? I want to invite you all to just go have a blessed day. Have a great day, week, month, year. Let's go kill it up there, guys. Thank you for joining.
All right, thank you, brother. All right, man. That was wonderful. That was awesome. That was the Mr. Keith Neuman. If y'all, just a little bit of a recap, if y'all didn't get to hear it, That man is he's learning every day, but he has mastered the steps of social media, network marketing, and getting your products out there online. His message to the world was truly just live within the moment. To experience enjoy the little things. I mean, do you really eat your apple when you're eating it, or are you eating the apple, or are you while you're thinking about it, are you thinking about your bills, this, that, and another? You need to truly live within the moment. Hey, if anybody would like me, Tucker Bearden, to speak at your event, I am a public speaker. I would love to do that. Just connect with me on Facebook. Look up my page, Tucker Bearden Inspiring the World, and check out the Stay Humble Hustle Hard podcast again tomorrow, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. So don't miss it. I will have y'all on here tomorrow morning. We got an amazing guest coming in. I'm not going to share who it is just yet. I'm actually going to make it to where y'all have to check out the post so you know who's coming up. Anyway, I appreciate y'all so very much for joining us on our third episode of the Stay Humble Hustle Hard podcast. Y'all have a blessed day.